From the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, we welcome you to RIT SportsZone's coverage of Tiger hockey. Tonight, it's the series finale between nationally ranked UMass Lowell out of Hockey East and the hometown RIT Tigers, members of Atlantic Hockey. Number 24 for Lowell is sophomore Lucas Candata. The Georgetown, Ontario native had 2 goals against the Tigers last night, including a controversial one in the second period. For Candata, it was his second multi-goal game of the season. As for RIT, we'll see if the Tigers can respond tonight and play like they did for the first 45 minutes on Friday before things unraveled and frustrations boiled over. Good evening, I'm Kevin Roach, and welcome to RIT SportsZone Pregame Live. Well, there's no doubt that this year's non-conference schedule just might be one of the most challenging RIT has faced in quite a while. The Tigers have already played nationally ranked Bowling Green and Ohio State, and a trip to 15th ranked Arizona State is on the horizon next week. Of course, you can add UMass Lowell to that group as well. Now, if the Tigers are fortunate enough to reach the NCAA tournament this year, they certainly will be battle-tested. Last night, Riverhawks and Tigers playing in Rochester for the first time in a decade, and we picked things up in the first period. Will Calverley forcing the turnover behind the Lowell net, and the puck comes right out in front to Sean Cameron, who scores on the backhander, beating Tyler Wall for his 8th of the season. It was 1-1 after one. Second period, after a hooking penalty on Ryan Kruper, UMass Lowell strikes quickly. Matt Brown the shot. Lucas Candata in front gets credit for the goal, but let's take another look from overhead. Candata, oh, he definitely kicks that one in the net. They would review it. However, somehow it stood. 2-1 Lowell. RIT would answer. Their power play expires with under 7 minutes to play. Didn't matter. Chris McKay ripping home the equalizer, his first of the season, and that would tie us at 2. Final minute of the period. Backbreaker here. Tigers turn it over. Candata nets his 2nd of the game, 4th of the season. Riverhawks with a 3-2 lead heading to the 3rd. In the 3rd, RIT on the rush. They would answer. Andrew Petrucci to Jake Joffe. Boy, is he hot right now. Ties it with his 5th of the season. 3-3 at that point, but every time RIT scored, Lowell seemed to have an answer. As Seth Barton puts the Riverhawks back in front, it was 4-3. UMass Lowell would score 3 in the 3rd as Carl Berglund gets his 2nd of the night, team leading 8th on the year. UMass Lowell wins 6-4 following a frustrating 3rd period for the Tigers.
I think we played really well as a team, but bounces weren't going our way, and then frustration obviously got the best of everybody, and I think tomorrow will be a different story. So,
what are some of the positives you can take out of, even though it's a loss, a game like this?
Well, they're a top 10 team in the nation, and I think we showed that we can play with them, so I think that was a big positive.
Well, obviously, they're a ranked team, and they know how to play. They work. They're simple, but they play hard, and we were able to stick with them. We had a really good forward check, caused a couple turnovers, and couple more bounces, and maybe it's a different story tonight.
A team like this, you don't have as many opportunities to have a mental lapse because, like you mentioned, they make you pay right away, don't they?
Yeah. Like we made a couple mistakes out there tonight, and they ended in the back of the net. So like you were saying, we just got to bear down and play a full 60. Can't have too many mistakes out there against guys like this.
It was tied at 3 in the 3rd.
Can't make those mistakes against a team like this. So as we dive inside the numbers following last night's loss to the Riverhawks, RIT ends up out shooting Lowell 29-26. Well, Tigers couldn't capitalize on the man advantage. Lowell scored once and also added a shorty. For RIT, Sean Cameron ended a 5-game goal-scoring drought with his 8th on the year. Chris McKay picked up his 1st, as we mentioned, of the season, 3rd of his career. And how about the sophomore, Jake Joffe? Now has 5 goals in his last 8 shots on net. Amazing. So how will the Tigers respond here tonight after letting last night's game get away late? For that answer and more, our John DiTullio standing by live now with RIT head coach Wayne Wilson. Johnny?
All right, Kevin, thanks so much. Wayne, this game's tied at 3 last night with 15 minutes to go. What needs to change tonight for you to come out on the other end and maybe get a W?
Yeah, I just, you got to play for 60 minutes. I don't think we had any let-ups like lapses in minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes or anything like that, but we had some lapses just in assignments where we just didn't hit on it for the, finish it off, whether it be a back check, finishing the back check off right to the goal line. So you let up a little bit, and that's where they take advantage. And that's the mark of a good team, but also a Lowell team is where they, they're good for 60 minutes, and their attention to detail is very good. And, so we just had a couple laps that cost us and a couple of tough breaks, whether it be the indirect off the skate, whether it be one that goes off bullet skate out to the high slot to the back door, and another one that kind of gets caught through his jersey So, but you've got to put pucks on the net and hope for those breaks yourselves, and you've got to create them by generating it yourself, and that's what they do well.
Now you go with the freshman goalie, Colby Matthews. The decision to play him against a ranked team, what do you want to see from him tonight?
Well, it's a good test for him to see what he has. It's a tough assignment for him, but it was a flip of a coin between him and Ian. They both have competed very, very hard, and we just wanted to see what the freshman could do. He hasn't had a shot at it, right from start to finish yet, so we wanted to see what he could do against a good team, and probably a good break for Logan as well, but an opportunity for Colby to see what he can do.
Penalties weren't that big of an issue for your team last night, were they?
No, it was better, but I still think we can be better. There's just a couple of reach-in ones. We want to get rid of those type of penalties and to be a successful team. And I thought we headed in the right direction last night. That was not the reason for the loss, but we still want to. I'd like to see it 4 or under, and we were just a hair over that. And really, the penalties that maybe hurt us a little bit is we're on the power play, 10 seconds in, we take a penalty. Another one, they've got their arm raised for a penalty on them, and then we also take one on the same play to make it a 4-on-4 situation.
What did you learn about your team last night? You went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, it didn't surprise us. It was very similar to what we did earlier in the year against the ranked team. So I thought that they didn't give up either. I thought that was good. Their body language and their verbal communication when we got down in the third was still strong. So I like our team, but like I said, we've got areas we've got to fix. Penalties, as you mentioned, special teams have to come through. And although we might have scored right in the last second of it or whatever, but we've got to create some of those opportunities ourselves.
Let's hope there's no controversial goals tonight.
Hopefully not, but you never know. Every game's different.
All right, that's head coach Wayne Wilson here with the RIT Tigers for a preview of UMass Lowell. Let's send it over to my broadcasting partner, Gene Battaglia. Gino?
All right, thanks, Johnny, here with Associate Head Coach Andy Jones. 6-4, the win last night, entertaining. Your thoughts on it?
Definitely entertaining. A lot of back and forth, a lot of twists and turns. I think we had a good visual firsthand of how of RIT's quick strike offense. I think they can create offense out of nothing, and I think we saw that firsthand last night. And late in the game, ultimately, we got a couple really important saves from Tyler when the lead could have shrunk, and I think that helped us a lot.
Are you going with Tyler tonight?
No, Logan's starting tonight.
Okay, so RIT, as you heard maybe head coach Wayne Wilson mention, Colby Matthews starting a goal tonight. What kind of challenge is that? Because we don't know much about him ourselves when you're looking at somebody you don't have much tape on.
Yeah, if you guys don't know much about him, we certainly don't either. And, I don't know if it's much of a challenge. I don't know if it changes our game plan too much. We'll need to test him early. We'll need to have players around him to try to make him uncomfortable. And those are things we try to do, even if it's Drackett in that too.
Reed Stephenson had 20 points as a freshman for you guys. Got in his freshman year. Last night, his first action coming back. What did you think of his performance last night?
I thought Reed got better as the game went along. I was really happy for Reed. He's waited a long time to play that game. He was excited, a little bit apprehensive at the same time. And I thought he did great. He contributed on the scoreboard. He played a lot down the stretch. And Reed was our Rookie of the Year last year, so we missed him, and we're excited to have him back.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
It's Associate Coach Andy Jones. Kevin, we send it back to you.
All right, Gene, thanks so much. We'll check back with you in just a bit. Well, for the first time this season, as we've already heard, a change in net for RIT. Number 40, Colby Matthews, will make his first career start here tonight. The British Columbia native did play in the Tigers exhibition back on December 29th. He made 3 saves during the third and overtime periods. For UMass Lowell, they're making a change too after Tyler Wall picked up his 52nd career victory last night, surpassing NHL goaltender Dwayne Rollison for number 1 on the Riverhawks all-time wins list. They'll go with a freshman as well, Logan Neaton from Brighton, Michigan, who's played just once this season. Should be interesting. Well, still to come on the program, could they make it 6 in a row? We'll show you how the red-hot RIT women's hockey team fared earlier this afternoon. Plus, it's been his life for over 2 decades now. Coming up, we'll share what it's like for this guy to have one of the coolest jobs on campus. But first, number 23 for RIT is defenseman Darren Brady, one of the co-captains along this Tiger Blue line. Will join the program live next as our coverage of Tiger hockey continues from the Gene Policini Center. It's RIT and UMass Lowell at 5:05. This is RIT Sports Zone pregame live. Back here on Pregame Live from the Gene Policini Center at RIT. Tigers looking to earn a split of this two-game non-conference series with UMass Lowell at 5:05. RIT playing out of conference this week and next week, but we're still keeping an eye on Atlantic hockey for you. Only one game in progress at the moment. Niagara leading Holy Cross 2-0. That one late in the first period. Sacred Heart goes for the sweep of Mercyhurst at 5:05, while Army and Canisius both won shootouts last night, earning 2 points. They both hope to earn a full 3 points with wins tonight, starting at 7:05 in a non-conference game for Robert Morris. They are taking on Penn State. Well, if you're just joining us, the Tigers went toe-to-toe with the 13th ranked team in the country for a little over 2 periods last night before some mental lapses proved costly. For more on tonight's rematch, our Kim Coffey standing by live now with RIT co-captain Darren Brady. Kim?
Thanks, Kevin. Darren, you guys went toe-to-toe with this team for 2 full periods, even into the third before things got out of reach. What do you have to do to make sure you play a complete game from start to finish tonight?
Yeah, I think last night we played a great game. Just a few minor mistakes that they're a good team. They're going to capitalize on those mistakes. So we just got to minimize our mistakes tonight and just play as hard as we can.
What do you have to do to take some of the pressure off of Colby Matthews getting his first start in goal tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be defending hard, but we also trust that guy. He's got a lot of confidence. He's a good goalie, so I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. What
adjustments does Coach have you making here tonight in this rematch?
We just want to be on them. We don't want them to be able to make any plays, so in the neutral zone on our forecheck, we're going to be all over them tonight.
Darren, thanks so much. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
Kevin, back to you.
And Kim, I know Darren's grandma here in the house this weekend. She stopped by the set last night, says she always watches the SportsZone broadcast from Michigan. So it was nice meeting her, and we love all the fans watching on Flow Hockey TV and here in Rochester on My 18. Thanks so much, Kim. Meanwhile, the RIT women's hockey team entered the day having won 5 in a row, their longest winning streak at the Division I level since the 2013-14 season when they won 7 in a row en route to this conference championship, the CHA championship. Today, wrapping up their series with Robert Morris this afternoon at the Policini. If you were looking for scoring, you got it today. Tigers trailed in the second until Abby Davies scores her second on the season. We were knotted at 3, but 3 minutes later, Colonials retook the lead thanks to Kylie Hanslick, one of her 2 goals on the afternoon. 4-3 Robert Morris. At that point, they go on to snap RIT's 5-game winning streak by a final of 6-4. So here are the up-to-minute standings in College Hockey America. With the victory, Robert Morris has moved into first place with 12 points. Syracuse and Mercyhurst currently playing, so the Colonials will have company atop the league no matter what happens. RIT remains in 5th with 4 points. Tigers travel to winless Lindenwood in Missouri next weekend. College basketball, the RIT women hosting Union at Clark Gym today and honoring the 2019 team that made the NCAA tournament. 3 straight for Amy Reed's squad. Second quarter, Sabrina Wolf driving the lane and hitting the pull-up jumper. Wolf led the Tigers with 15. RIT led by 8 at the break. Fourth quarter, 5-point game now, but Alyssa Juergens gets the jumper to go. She added 6. Tigers hold on for a 52-46 victory over Union today. As for Bob McVean's men's team currently playing at the Clark Gym, they are at the half, and Coach McVean has a 5-point lead, 28-23 RIT leading Union. Well, still to come here tonight on Pregame Live, we'll share who owns the coolest job on campus. And it's not us. Plus, John and Gene will join us to share who we should be keeping an eye on here tonight. That's next on the home of RIT Hockey. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live.
Set at Logan Dragon on that. Brown pushes it on the near side. Brown in front, and oh, that goes in! Wow. Deflected in front, and it's a power play goal. It is now 2-1. Just
see if he extends that that skate.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's a kick.
Oh, that's a kick.
That's a kick.
Take it off the board. Because what you're seeing on TV, they're seeing in the review booth, and oh, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Tigers would love just to get the dressing room tied at 2, but here's an opportunity, and that goes in.
Right at the end of the period, we've been talking about it, Gino. You've got to close out the period. You have to.
Back, but here's Brubaker wisely pushing it ahead. Petrucci, centering pass, scores! Jake Jaffe! All he does when he touches the puck is score. We're tied at 3. To the far corner this goes as Hausinger. Back up top, scores from way out. That's Seth Barton with the goal. Chambers, the backhand, save in front all alone. Short-handed, and it trickles by Logan Drackett, and that should do it tonight. Drackett's furious as he's going crazy. He just broke his stick.
Oh, yeah.
And Logan Drackett is blown a gasket as our camera went away from that. There you see his stick.
And he's going to be replaced.
Drackett and the Tigers, frustrating loss 6-4 last night. You can find men's hockey highlights, features, plus Division III live streams, much more at RITathletics.com. The all-new RIT Athletics app coming your way soon to Apple, Android, Roku, and Amazon Fire Stick as well, so you'll be able to access all of our content anytime, anywhere, and that's always a good thing as we welcome you back inside the Gene Policini Center where you're watching RIT Sports Zone pregame live presented by our longtime supporters, Taylor the Builders. Youth Hockey and Kids Night here at the Coliseum as the puck is set to drop between RIT and UMass Lowell at 5:05. Joined now by Gene Battaglia and John DiTullio. And guys, so much to dive into surrounding last night's game, but the point that sticks out most to me is RIT proved they can hang with some of the best teams in the country once again, but also mistakes are certainly magnified against a team like the Riverhawks.
Yeah, no doubt, Kevin. Good afternoon to you, and that's why it hurts a little bit, kind of like that Bills playoff game where you look back at maybe a handful of plays if it goes a different way for RIT. Yesterday, John, that game was within reach, tied at 3 in the third.
And that's what UMass Lowell is all about. They will take advantage of the 1, 2, and last night maybe 3 mistakes RIT made. They capitalized every single time. That's why they're 12th in the country.
John, your thoughts on what we saw from Logan Drackett at the end of last night? Now, Wayne Wilson did say to us early in the week that he may use this weekend as an opportunity to take a look at the different goaltenders, but kind of what happened at the end of last night kind of solidified his decision, I would think.
Well, it can happen, certainly. And he apologized to the team after the game. He was frustrated, but that cannot happen. That's not what he's about, and more importantly, that's not what RIT hockey is about. So tonight, the freshman gets the start. He's got a tall task.
Yeah, this is a nationally ranked team, the Riverhawks. They roll the 4 lines. 2 goals last night for Carl Berglund, number 18.
You know, they don't have one player. You say they've got a bunch of really good players, and they've got a lot of good freshmen, and Berglund is outstanding. Just one of their crop of freshmen that can move the puck, can shoot the puck, great two-way player. This team has got a bright future because they have so many good young freshmen. We saw number 18 last night put on a show.
Yeah, Berglund from Sweden. For the RIT Tigers tonight, as you had mentioned earlier, John, it'll be Colby Matthews in goal tonight. And when you get a freshman goaltender, you want all the help he can get. So it's going to be up to the defense. And the leader of that defense is number 24, Chris McKay.
I think Chris McKay is a player that over the last 4 years has just improved every season. Improved his puck handling, improved his shot, and last night rewarded with a goal. But McKay and all the blue liners are going to have to play huge tonight to protect their freshman goalie against one of the best offenses in all Division I hockey.
Yeah, McKay had a tying goal to tie it at 2 last night. As we take a look at the keys tonight, you want to get the weekend split here, John.
We always love the keys because that's how you spell victory. And you can hear Tom Cruise's character, Jerry Maguire. You complete me. You got to play a full 60 minutes. For the young folks out there, you may want to YouTube this when you get home tonight. Arthur Fonzarelli, the Fonz. Got to be cool. Got to stay out of the box. That's what it's all about. Poise is a key. A, right? Fonzie, thumbs up. And let me tell you, you're going to have to meet Matthews. Colby Matthews is going to need a lot of help tonight because this is his first game of the season. Oh, by the way, try to go out and stop one of the best teams in all Division I hockey. A tall task for KM, Colby Matthews.
Yeah, I get the reference, John. You and I are of that generation, but Arthur Fonzarelli, that needs everything else has been rebooted. What about a happy
They need to reboot that. His leather jacket is in the Smithsonian, which means that's pop culture. Look it up. That's a homework assignment for all the young kids in the truck. and all the young people watching tonight. And we'll have a pop quiz on January 25th.
You know, the guy who never did homework at Penn State's handing out homework assignments here tonight.
I'm a better student now than I was then, Kevin.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you in just a bit. Well, he's one of the most integral parts of the RIT hockey program, but his shifts on the ice don't determine whether the Tigers win or lose. And while most of his work goes unseen, his contributions over the last 2 decades certainly haven't gone unnoticed. Stu Hughes has worked at RIT for over 4 decades, spending his first 20 years in facilities management before finding arguably the coolest job on campus.
I saw it listed, and I thought it would be a unique job, something a little different. I was getting kind of tired of plowing snow, so I figured I'd go cut some snow instead.
Yeah, I want to drive the Zamboni. Yeah, I want to drive the Zamboni. Yes, I do.
For the last 22 years, Hughes has been the university's ice operations manager, overseeing Ritter Arena, and for the last 6 years, the Gene Policini Center.
It's a pretty fun job. Yeah, I've been very fortunate with my bosses that I've had throughout the years, that they've given me the tools I needed to, you know, do a good job.
It's a job that can't be done alone. Hughes works with 3 other full-time staff members and employs nearly 15 students.
It's actually a lot of work. It can be very technical as far as people think, yeah, you just go out and lay water. There's a lot more to it than that. So there are some challenges, which makes it, you know, for me, makes it fun.
What are some of the challenges you face on a day-to-day basis?
Practices, the way they can really destroy the ice, rebuilding it. We usually have 4 weeks of schedules. So I'm looking 4 weeks ahead of what we've got, where our ice depths need to be, humidity, temperature, building temperature, all that comes into play.
Hughes can be described as meticulous when it comes to ice maintenance. The boards are clean, the glass is spotless, and the ice is as good as it gets.
I just like coming in and making sure that everything is in its place, the teams are ready to go. They have the best quality ice I can give them. I just enjoy that. I guess that was instilled in me when I was young. Whatever you do, and I tell my students this, I don't care if you're emptying garbage, whatever you do, just take pride in what you do. Do your best at whatever you're doing.
Look at Stu. Donuts.
While there's been a lot of fun and games over the years for RIT Zamboni driver, the lone drawback to the job is the pressure to be perfect.
I always think we can do better, we can do more. So that's, for me, it's kind of the negative part of my job, is I'm just, you know, I'm never happy. I always think we could do it a little better. So.
That's not bad.
Well, ask my employees, they may not agree.
Yeah, Stu's been getting it done here for a while. Still to come on the program, it's been 10 years since RIT reached the Frozen Four. We'll tell you how the program's planning to honor that team's accomplishment and how you can be part of it when we come back. You're watching RIT SportsZone Pre-Game Live. RIT will honor the 2010 Frozen Four team January 25th against Canisius, beginning with a fan fest at 5:30, face-off 7:05. Get your tickets now. You're going to want to be here. That'll do it for us on Pregame Live. RIT SportsZone Live begins right now. Enjoy the game.